Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, April the 29th. I'm John Clark. This is the Made in Paradise podcast, along with my co-hosts, Anthony Jamie Fox Ferguson and Darin Indiana Fingleton. Good morning, everybody. We're the Career Proven Performer, and we solve big inventory problems. Huge, humongous, enormous. If you have a big inventory problem, please reach out to us. Our contact information should be in the comments. We'll put it at the bottom of the screen a little bit later on when we talk about deals, including Fruit Loops, which Anthony drew into our lives yesterday. We're going to talk about that too as we get a little bit later on. We've got a new Delta shirt deal that's manifested, fully manifested Delta shirt deal we're going to talk about at the end, and an air purifier deal. So hang on for all of that or skip ahead, whatever you want to do. If you don't want to see our beautiful, handsome faces, go on ahead, look at the deals. But if you want to stay here and listen to what we've been talking about for years of our lives, this morning, the first thing I want to talk about is this photo behind me, which is the Carina Nebula. Now, I just educated the two of you. How old is the universe? How old is it?
Would you like us to say it? 13.6 billion years?
13.8
or 14?
13.8 billion years old. And just so you know, Anthony, on this orange section back here, this nebula, if you got in the car and you were going to drive from one side of that orange to the other, it would take about 80 billion years. So about 4 or 5 times longer than the whole universe has been in existence to drive from one side of that to the other. 13.8 billion versus 80 billion. Well, with artificial intelligence, how else? Right? But sometimes when you look at a photo like this was taken by the James Webb Telescope, right? The Carina Nebula. When you're looking at a photo like this, in some of those little round blobs up there above the orange, the ones that are kind of more oval than rounded, I'm sorry, not round, but the oval ones, those are galaxies that are forming. So like potentially behind us, if you calculated all the stars and all the galaxies in the photo behind me, you're talking about a possibility of trillions of planets. Yet none of us can really readily agree with our wives about what we're going to have for dinner tonight.
Right.
What I mean is understand the scale of your problems, right? A lot of the things you're worrying about, you're just wasting your time. You should be thinking about what you want and not about what you don't want, right? And our problems, what we think are problems, are really just challenges, and we put big labels on them, right? Doesn't do us any good. No good at all. When it comes to liquidation, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So you mean to say it's more dangerous overthinking everything or not thinking enough?
Well, I think if you could stop thinking, that would be a beautiful thing, but most people can't do that. That takes years of practice to be able to do that, to control your thoughts to the place where you just stop thinking. So, should we talk about how you can prove that your brain can stop thinking? Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yes.
Right? Because most people think that they are their thoughts, right? Most people believe they are their thoughts. When they hear that voice in their head, they think that's me, and that's not you, right? You are the witness of those thoughts. And if you can find that separation, that you're the witness of those thoughts, you can have some control over them.
So let me guide me here. So there is someone talking and there's someone listening, right? So who I am, in that scenario, I have
you're the listener. You're the listener, right? You're the one listening to those thoughts. Those thoughts are in your head, but they're being listened to. Who is listening to them? If you say to your mind, guess what I'm going to think next, it will stop. If you just say to your mind, guess what I'm going to think next, it'll just stop, just like that. Because your brain is a receiver of consciousness, not the origin of it. Like a radio receiver, right? And you can tune it like a radio receiver. You do meditation for a long time, like I've explained to you. The thoughts that used to be running through my head so fast I couldn't even get a glimpse of them. And now they come in very slowly. And so I can look over at that thought and think, you know what? I'm just not interested in that. And it just dissipates and it goes on by. It's just a thought, just like a radio wave coming through, right? Poof. Did I answer your question or not?
Yeah, definitely. Right.
All right. Can I get the rest of what I want to talk to today? Because we're already at the 5-minute mark. No real buyer is going to make an offer on something without a compelling starting price. And every day I get 50 or 60 or 70 offers, and a bunch of people will they'll do this very nice presentation of some inventory, and they'll say, make offer. And all that's going to get you is a low offer that no one's going to accept. And the person who's the real buyer, what they think about that, when they see that, they think he wants too much money for that, or they want too much money for that. That's immediately what they think. Because they look down and make offer and think, well, if you really wanted to sell it, it's about the price. Put the price out there, right? Because whatever that make offer is going to be, it's never going to be accepted. Because they're going to make a seriously lowball offer on that inventory. So if you're in the deal business and you see that, you push someone to give you a starting price. If they don't give you a starting price that's compelling, that you can't look at and say, okay, that's a good price. You're wasting your time. The deal's not going to close. The guy wants too much money for this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so this morning we were just talking about, somebody found our Instagram post on one of our items and made us a $1.3 million offer on something that the owner wants. What is that? 1.7 million for? So about $400,000 less. And we're apparently deadlocked, right? But there's the offer and it's on the table with a real buyer and real money, right? Make an offer. That's a real offer. Okay, we were right in there. But the thing of make offer, no, just let archive, let it go.
It's like
not going to happen.
Facebook marketplace. When you say something's negotiable, they just throw whatever at you. Would you take 2,000 for it? And you're asking us 4,000. Would you take?
Right.
I had a guy that say one time I was selling a vehicle, and they offered me a piece of land. They're like, "Would you take that?" Like, no, but thank you for the offer.
Okay, but all right, but reasonably, I mean, cars, land, that's one thing, but
right,
years and years and years ago, right, 20 years ago, almost, before I moved to Costa Rica, and I had the big eBay business, and I would very often get the newspaper, and people had still putting classified ads in the newspaper for stuff, right? And so I would go through those classified ads, and I would call people on the phone, and I would just make them crazy offers, and sometimes they would take it.
Yeah.
Sometimes somebody was just desperate; they just take it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've made an offer, and I encourage people to make offers, right? But if I'm asking $1 for something and you're offering me 10 cents, you should know we're too far apart, right? If I'm asking $1 and you're offering me 50 cents, maybe I need to consider that because I don't understand the market. But 10 cents I know is ridiculous, right?
Yeah, my buddy's grandpa, he used to always carry a large sum of money in his pocket. He was a car salesman. He'd fix up cars, and so what he'd do is he'd go to big parking lots and just see if anybody had that for sale sign listed on the back of their car, and he'd wait for him to come outside and just offer him whatever he thinks he might be able to get out of it. So he'd take it right then and there, take it to a shop, see what needed to be done to it, and fix it up right there. Sell it.
Yeah. Well, let's recognize an opportunity, right? Create and recognize an opportunity. We were talking about that one the other day, Anthony Ferguson. Anthony Ferguson, what do you have for us today at the 9-minute mark? What do you have that's going to enrich people's lives today? Lay it on us.
So, do you think most people are truly happy or just distracted with all this technology going around and all these things we have?
Do I think most people are truly happy?
That's right, or just distracted and pretend to be happy?
I don't think the world looks like Instagram, if that's what you're asking, right? I think if we were truly happy, then happiness would be our default state, and it's not, right? It's not our default state. I think most people are usually worried about something. They're spending their time worried, which means stressed, right?
Right.
Because are you ever stressed and not worried?
I had this experience.
I mean, don't you have to worry in order to produce stress in your body?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree, because I was in Santa Ana. That was a long time ago, and I was planning to go to this wind turbine right behind me on my background, and it's a huge hill, right? High hill.
I've been up there.
And,
yeah.
Okay. So I'm planning to go with my wife, and then we decided to go. And on the way, like in the middle of the way, all these brand new cars on the right-hand side with the hood open and the smoke from the engine, right? And I'm like, so my wife is like, do you think we should just turn back and go back home? Because my car, it was a whole car, right? I'm like, no, let's go. No problem, let's go, right? So we kept on going. And then more on the right-hand side, more car with the hood open and smoke coming out and people worried and all that. So we drove all the way up. And once I was up, I wasn't enjoying the view. My wife was like, oh, can you see that? And can you see that? And I'm like, I was thinking, how am I gonna do all the way back down since my car's an old car and the brakes is not working very good? I was worried at the moment. I wasn't enjoying the view. I was thinking,
Because you're in the future. Because your mind was in the future.
Right.
Because your mind was in the future.
Right. And then
Right.
we get down, and then there's a guy with the car who was on the right-hand side, worried, and he asked me, how was the view? I'm like, ask my wife. I had no experience. I was worried.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Well, and the thing about happiness is it's just a decision. It's absolutely a decision, because I have known people that were absolutely suffering miserably and decided to be happy every day. And so I think it's, can you control your thoughts enough to decide to be happy? Because as far as life goes, negative things are going to happen. If you go out and interact with people in any way, there will be some friction, and you will put a sticker on that friction in one way or the other. Like going out and you're going in traffic, and I was laughing at someone the other day as I was in traffic with someone, and they were just constantly commenting on everything that the Ticos in traffic were doing, right? They were, oh my gosh, the guy just cut you off. Look at that person. They're just jaywalking right across and they just kept commenting. Every time I would laugh, because it doesn't even blip on my radar. Like bad behavior in Costa Rica traffic. I mean, that just, it doesn't even faze me. Cut me off. Go ahead. Go shoot. Like, you're not delaying me a quarter of a second. We're all going to be stopped here together in just a moment. Right?
Yeah.
And
right behind you at the red light.
They do that thing. They'd be behind you at the red light. They hit the horn like as soon as it turns green. They and Costa Ricans have this thing. They'll do their hand out the window this way, like just jump over me if you want to, right?
Yeah.
Calling out the impatience.
Yeah, it even happens down here where you're going up and down the mountains, and if there's just one little straight shot where they think I can make it around you, they're going to take it. They're going to take that one straight shot. And it's so dangerous sometimes. It's so
crazy dangerous. That's what happens in the Turkey rainforest, where there's so many accidents in there, right? Is people are just so impatient. They can't take it. They have to go around. And you know how much of it's double yellow line? I mean, it's almost all double yellow line, but no patience, man. No patience. Panamanians have less patience than Costa Ricans, though.
Yeah.
In traffic,
it's a whole other demon.
Yeah, for
driving
sure.
in Panama City was something that I remember. I was actually nervous my first few times driving in the city there, because it was just so hectic. People were bumper to bumper going 30, 40 miles an hour, and it was hectic.
Darin, what do you got for us today? What do you got to enrich people's lives today? Enrich our listeners' lives that have listened 14 minutes and 31 seconds to what we're saying.
Well, we were talking about yesterday when we got off the podcast, it was mystery boxes, and it's just something that it just stuck with me, and I just thought, wow, it's really become a fad with new people that are coming into this industry, bin stores or whatever they might be trying to break into this industry, is just how popular mystery boxes have become. And I was just looking the other day at some at some Facebook post, and they have TikTok mystery boxes now. Do you really think that mystery boxes are a lucrative thing to really get into?
Most of the mystery boxes you see are Amazon. So let me say this. You know, Amazon has this horrible record for their employee relations, right? Where you only have so many minutes a day to go to the bathroom. And if you use the bathroom longer than that, then they dock your pay. They take it out of your pay. And so there's stories about people who are in those Amazon warehouses pulling items off the shelf to ship, and they're peeing in a bottle so that they don't lose their money from having to walk to the bathroom and use it, because you use the bathroom so far anyway, right? And they pee in the bottle. So I want you to imagine the company that treats their employees that way is also the largest producer of closeout, liquidation stuff, right? We got all these different types of Amazon, high piece count and LPN and right, FC and all these different sorts of Amazon. And so one of them is mystery boxes, right? And they've got different kinds of mystery boxes and different locations they come out of, and certainly some that are staged that way. But you're a guy in your house and you want to buy some stuff and you want to sell online, you want to make some money, right? And so you're buying some of these mystery boxes and you're selling them. But behind you is a huge company, right? Who's doing everything they can not to lose any money. That's so much that they have to make their employees pee in a bottle. So that's your vendor, right? So that vendor then sells that product to a contract holder, right? Which there's various number of them around the country, who in turn sells it to a truckload seller, who sells either by the truckload or by the pallet or by the mystery box or at an auction. But he's buying truckloads from the contract holder and he's bringing it into his local area, and then he has local customers. And there's just an unbelievable amount of these people putting fake pictures up on Facebook of, look, our customer bought this mystery box and it had a PS5 in it. And don't you automatically know that they all don't have PS5s in them? That hardly any of them have PS5s in them? Right? We bought 15 trailers of Target and shipped it to Panama. And in all of 15 trailers, maybe we got 3 or 4 consoles.
Yeah, I think we got 2 Nintendo Switches or something along those lines.
So my complaint has always been the same about the returns industry, and that is they're just selling the dream. But how many people are really making profit at it over the long haul? And your question was, do mystery boxes make money? And I think some people make money with mystery boxes. And I think that most people do not over the long haul. They might buy 3 or 4 pallets and they're really good. And they take those 3 or 4 pallets and make a bunch of money on them. But then they go back to that same truckload guy or another truckload guy and they buy some more pallets and they're just not as good. And they got some stuff they can't sell. They got some stuff they got to give away. And they don't have an accounting of it. And they're not depreciating their inventory right. And so they think they're making money, but am I really making money? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And all the while, the company that's their vendor is trying everything they can to lose as little money as they can. But now realize for Amazon, at least what we see here in Costa Rica, because we have so many bin stores here, all of this is the worst Amazon stuff that's here. And it's 98% Chinese manufactured in a fulfillment box of some kind. I mean, it's in a brown box or it's not a nice retail box. And the quality of the products in it is very low in general. It's the lowest quality stuff, right? And so I would love to have some mystery box sellers on that would say, no, John, you're not right. I'm just setting the world on fire. Like every time I buy these boxes, I'm making some money. I think Amazon's making some money because remember, they're not losing money on this. They charge the manufacturer back for all of that stuff. So when they got the return back, they charged them all the money back plus the whatever processing fee. And now they're selling it and they want to sell it for as much money as possible because it's a profit center. Right?
You think it's rigged in any way? I mean, when you see this photos of, hey, yeah, my customer got a PlayStation 5.
the whole returns business is rigged. Period. I mean, that's what I said. I want people to come on the show and say, no, it's not. No, man, if you get into this, there's plenty of money and you're going to make money and you should get into this business. I think some people make money, but I think in general, the way it's presented, come over here, buy some mystery boxes, you're going to start making money. I don't think so. I think they're selling the dream.
Yeah. So if our listeners, leave us a comment if you guys think that it's lucrative. Prove us wrong. We'd love to have you on.
I think it would be wonderful if you'd have one of those mystery box guys that he'd go through a pallet of stuff and open all the mystery boxes and show you the worst one. Here's the worst 3. Here's what you could be getting. And you look at those and think, oh, remember, Darin, when we had those mystery box loads and you would open some of them and you just think, oh, this is really disappointing because there was, 4 bathroom rugs in there and one cracked plastic bathroom can. Remember, Anthony? Remember going through that stuff? You'd open some of those boxes and you'd be excited, and some of them you'd open and you'd think, wow. Anyway, we're at the 21-minute mark. Did we talk about everything we wanted to talk about today?
I think so.
Yeah? We're ready to talk about some deals? All right, let's talk about deals. I'm going to talking about deal number 1 here. We've sold a lot of these Delta shirts that were unmanifested. Tomorrow, Darin, maybe we'll talk about unmanifested versus manifested. When unmanifested is okay and when it's not. But today, we sold a bunch of these Delta in the past that were unmanifested, but now we have 2 trotters that are manifested. You can reach out to us. Drop that banner at the bottom if you would, Darin. You can reach out to us by WhatsApp or by email, and we'll tell you about it. We have 2 trotters of this completely manifested, and just to give you a little teaser, and again, email us for the manifest. We'll send it to you. It's 102,000 pieces with a wonderful size and color mix all the way across the board. About 8,500 dozen on the 2 trailers. These are 30 cents a piece. Really, really good shirts, right? Very heavyweight, pro weight, as you see right here, pro weight shirts. Very, very nice. This came out of a bankruptcy, so it's not going to happen again. You're going to buy these for 30 cents again. But again, we do have these manifested. So reach out to us. Let's talk about that. Yesterday, Anthony was telling us a story about an old guy he met at the soccer field. And he was asking, he said, how did you end up in Coita, Costa Rica? And he said, well, when I was a kid, I was looking at this cereal box. And he said it was a Fruit Loops box and there was a palm tree on it. And I thought one day I'm going to live where there's toucans and palm trees. Now, Anthony was telling us that story right at the end of the podcast. So yesterday morning, like around 10 o'clock at noon, no lie, I get this Fruit Loops deal, Fruit Loops straws. So Anthony drew this into our lives. Anthony, you're completely responsible for this deal. You need to get this sold. You need to get this sold the next 20, 30 minutes, something like that. We have 163,774 units. 163,774 units. Fruit Loops cereal straws, expiration in August and in November of 2026. About 35 pallets in total, FOB Kentucky. They are UPC'd. So let us know about that. We can send you the manifest. Last one for today. Don't have many of these left. We did have a bunch, but 200 units. How do you think it's pronounced, Darin? Apu?
Opu? Yeah.
Opu 2-in-1 air purifier and humidifier. Retail was $5.99. They're $75 a piece. They're in fulfillment boxes. We have about 200 units available. If you want to see pictures of the box, reach out to us. Again, this is a big air purifier. This is not the small air purifier, and it's got a multiple filtration system. $75 a piece, 200 left, was $5.99. Reach out to us if you want to know more about that one. Lastly, if you please like and subscribe. We haven't been saying that, but please do like and subscribe and leave us a comment and let us know if you think Darin Fingleton and Mike from Stranger Things are actually brothers. Maybe
wondering how you're going to work this in here.
Maybe you have, maybe y'all are just, your dad's like, God love children that you don't know about.
Right.
It could happen. I mean, Stranger Things is set in Indiana. That is an unusual coincidence, right? So just leave us a comment. Let us know if you think Darin and Mike look like one another. We'd be very interested to know. Anything else you got a question about too? Leave us a comment. We want to talk to you.
Be happy to respond.
Our loyal audience. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day. For the Proven Performer crew, I'm John Clark with Darin Fingleton and Anthony Ferguson, and we solve big inventory problems and talk about the mysteries of the universe at the same time. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is fun. Bye, guys.
Ciao.